tensions are once again mounting against Iran ahead of a crucial report by the UN nuclear watchdog due next week. It's as Israel tests a new ballistic missile and reports that suggest the idea of a military strike on the Islamic Republic is being pushed by Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu.
Now the government is calling for an end to the protest before talks over constitutional change can begin. But the activists are refusing, building up to Friday's planned march on the presidential palace.
The huge bombs are designed to destroy underground enemy targets at a total cost of about $314 million. Experts took note of the fact that the military disclosed delivery of the new bunker-busting bomb less than a week after a United Nations agency warned that Iran was secretly working to develop a nuclear weapon. Iran is known to have hidden nuclear complexes that are fortified with steel and concrete and buried under mountains. The Air Force and the Defense Threat Reduction Agency conducted tests at White Sands, and Boeing delivered the first massive ordnance penetrator this fall. Additional deliveries are expected to be completed by 2013.
Now, if the U.S. or Israel, if they plan to attack, military strategists, some of them say it has to happen soon. Why is that?
Well, primarily it's a strategic military problem of cloud cover over the nuclear sites in Iran. When the rainy and snowy season comes in Iran, as it's going to do in just a matter of a very few weeks, then it's militarily much more difficult to pull something like that off against a number of targets in Iran. So they're running against a window here, running against a clock in trying to deal with this militarily, unless they want to wait a whole other year, and that brings other problems. We've got an American election.
The report, which was handed over to the 35 member states of the IAEA Board of Governors, details a series of tests, acquisition of materials and technology that suggests Iran has continuously worked to produce a nuclear weapon since 2003. France said on Wednesday it wanted to convene the UN Security Council and could push for unprecedented sanctions against Iran after an International Atomic Energy Agency report said that Iran had worked to develop an atomic bomb design.
Tehran's winter snow started to fall on the capital, but much sooner than expected. After days of continuous raining, Tehran was suddenly clad in white. With temperatures falling to nearly 0 degrees Celsius, life in Iran's most populous city suddenly changed. The weather took many residents by surprise, as many did not expect such a wide-scale snowfall in a season when it usually only rains. This year, the real winter, which many expected in January, has knocked on Tehran's door about 2 months earlier. Meteorologists say they did expect the arrival of a cold weather mass, but also admit that Iran's capital has not seen such a phenomenon in a decade.
We've had good showers during this year's fall, which have now turned into snow, due to the sudden drop in temperature. However, having snow in this time of the year in Tehran is not a regular event.
As wash wipers fail to clear the windshields, looming traffic prompts some people to look for better means of transportation.
It seems that winter has arrived early this year. When I saw the traffic, I decided to use the bicycle. It's fun to ride in snow.
In a city where the days with clean air is outnumbered, precipitation is a blessing. This is what Tehran used to look like a week before the downpour started. Experts say that despite heavy droughts in some parts of the country in the previous summer, a number of cities in Iran have experienced record numbers of downpour with the arrival of fall. This also includes Tehran. While traffic jams and flooded streets make life difficult for the residents in some parts of Iran's capital, people still prefer to see rain clouds in the sky above instead of smog.
For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. And we know that all things work together for good to those who love God, to those who are the called according to his purpose. But, beloved, do not forget this one thing, that with the Lord 1 day is as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years as 1 day. The Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as some count slackness, but is long-suffering toward us, not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance.